Alexandra Owens asked me to have a look at this website for you. I think the company that you've used is Avalanche have said that this is completely finished. If it's not, then please excuse me. I'm not trying to like diss on a company. I don't agree with that really, but I just want to I'm just doing her a favour really. She just asked me to have a quick look at it for you because there's quite a few things I think that are quite severely wrong with it. One, I've just run a performance test on it, and this is a website at Metrics or GT Metrics, and it's scoring absolutely terribly at F, which 10%, and it's taking 12 seconds to fully load all the assets, which is just like absolutely disastrous. I mean, trying to get your page to rank well in Google when you've got such poor loading times, you really are going to struggle with that. So I mean, just that alone is one of the reasons why I'd be going back to the web company. Second of all, you're not running an SSL certificate, which is a little padlock, which again you will be penalised by Google for not having that. Another thing, some of the images don't appear to be optimised at all, so they're just really big file sizes. The website in general is just not using like latest web techniques. Like this logo, for instance, it looks quite pixelated and a bit blurry. That's because it should be using what's known as an SVG, a scalable vector graphics, which instead of the image being made up out of pixels, it's made up out of sort of mathematical curves, and it just gives you like a really lovely smooth finish, and it's a lower file size anyway, so I don't know why they've chosen not to do that as an SVG. It really should be an SVG in today's web. And another thing as well is it just looks like everything's, it's like this text, to me, that should have like a bigger padding on these sides, so it doesn't just flow. It just flows a bit ugly, it just doesn't look quite right. Again, this here is just an image where it says view our products. That really could be proper type, and what that means is that it can be indexed then by search engine. Doing things like this as images, it's just like how the web were built like 10 years ago. It's just a total no-no really to do that. And even if you can't get that as a font, it could have at least been an SVG. To do it as an actual pixel image or a raster image is just totally wrong in my opinion. And then that just sort of follows out throughout. I mean, to me, they've dedicated far too much room to their own brand at the bottom than they have to some of the others. If they spent as much time doing that at the bottom than they had doing all the rest of the site, you'd be laughing. Another thing that's severely wrong with it is the URL structure. So if you click on I think it's on Contact Us. Yeah, I've clicked on Contact Us there, and I'm getting about -new-2 in the in the address bar there. So that needs addressing really quickly. Another thing as well is it doesn't seem to be indexing properly at all, not properly, but not at all in Google. So I'd just ask them about that as well. I mean, even this form, it just looks a bit like unstyled almost. It just looks really sort of thrown together in my opinion. It looks like there's no sort of care and attention being put into it at all. I mean, some of these pages seem alright, you know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I don't want to start like completely ripping everything apart because some of it's quite nice, but it is what it is. I mean, one of the other things as well I've noticed is it's really, really slow. They really need to fix the performance. Honestly, it's so. I mean, if you view this on a mobile phone that's not got a strong Wi-Fi connection, if it's on like just 3G or something even lesser than that, it's going to be pretty much unusable. So they really do need to address those performance issues. Another thing as well is when it's on mobile size, it just doesn't work that well at all. Everything just seems out of scale, and like that type now is just tiny. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know this isn't a mobile phone, so on a phone it won't look quite as bad as this, but it's like they've put absolutely no effort at all into how it's going to look on a phone. This menu just sort of appears like really clumsily underneath the logo, and it's just sloppy. Like this text, it's touching the edges, and it just looks like the line height's too much, and it's in like a really silly font that doesn't match your brand. And I mean, look at this. You've got like the flag now touching the bottom. It looks like they haven't even looked at it on a phone. It's just like really, really scruffy. Well, not scruffy, but just sloppy. Like the gap between the top of the view and this image, it's just too big. It's just, like I say, it's almost like they've not even looked at it. I mean, to me, it looks like they've just bought a theme for WordPress, banged your images in, a bit of your brand, and called it a day. Do you know what I mean? And if this Avalanche company regard this as a finished website, then I don't think they should be in business. Frankly, I really do. I mean, like I say, I didn't want to slag them off, and I know I have done there, but to be honest, I just think it's wrong. I think if they're saying this website is done, then they're wrong. Do you know what I mean? And it's not fair on you. I mean, I could go on, but I think you get the gist of it. So, like I say, just a recap there. You know, they've not used modern web techniques. The performance issues really need addressing. It definitely needs addressing when it's at mobile sizes. It looks like it's totally untested. And then things like this follow us. It's just like, it looks like it's just been plonked there. You know what I mean? It's like, why is that just in the middle of there? Do you know what I mean? At least put it in the header or the footer, and at least try and make some sense of it fitting in with your brand. You know what I mean? To me, those social icons I would have done in like a really nice, I don't know, maybe like in a circle or something. You know, it just matches your brand a bit more. You know, just plonking on a Twitter and Facebook generic icon, it just looks a bit scruffy. It's like this font here as well. You know, why have they chosen that? You know, it just doesn't. None of it sort of sits right with anything. You know, like I say, I just think it's a shame really, because your brand's really nice and you've got some really nice photography, and it just seems like they've just not done it justice at all. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it'd be interesting to see actually where they're hosting it with, because I mean, some of these performance issues will definitely be because they've not done the website correctly, but it might also be down to the fact that the hosting's on like a really cheap shared hosting. So it might be just worth looking at where they're actually hosting. I mean, I don't know how much you're paying for your hosting, but it might be just worth asking them what quality the host. It looks like it's with GoDaddy. That's not to say it's bad, because GoDaddy will have decent packages, but it might be just on like some cheap shared hosting, which it feels like it is to me. So I just question that with them as well. I mean, if they're charging you more than like £100 a year for the hosting, then you want to be on better than this, frankly. So if you want to know more about this anyway, if you want to contact me directly, you can do. And my email's richard@qwerty-design.co.uk, and that's QWERTY from the top line of a keyboard, -design.co.uk. So that's richard@qwerty-design.co.uk. And my phone number's 07944 948 539 if you need to contact me. I'd be more than happy to go through it with you in person. Okay, cheers, thanks very much. Bye.